Yes.
Where's your... Oh, we can have sword.
Sitting with all my friends. Just following my...
Patrick has no choice but to
Good morning, fellow Rotarians. Welcome to our meeting of January 17th, 2018. Vicki Johnson, back up here. Will you lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes, I will. Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good song today.
Bob Keyser fought for the day.
This is from Mark Twain on patriotism. It's patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it.
And in honor of Martin Luther King Day, I have an additional quote from Mr. King, Dr. King. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but when he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Brother Joe.
Wow, look at that.
Looks just like you.
Or we had hair,
A long time ago.
between the two of us, we had hair. How's everybody? Fine this morning? Everybody?
Yeah.
We just had an okay day, and we haven't done it in a long time. Michael may remember a long, long time ago, one of the something we did was battle him with the Republic, right? We usually were sending out the vintage during parts. But we're not going to do parts, we'll do it in honor of Past Monday. Bill, remember the words of the first verse?
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the
Okay,
Lord.
everybody, here we go. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is sending out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the fateful lightning of the terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
Where's Ben?
Before you sit down, greet your neighbors, give them a hug, give them a handshake, say hello.
See you too. Hi, Mom. My mom's got it.
Big thank you today for today's greeters, John Pelusas and Natalie Nakara. Thank you both very much. On time and at the job. Good to see you. Mike team, we have Al Lustig ready to go, but Pam is missing in action. So, Brian, would you do the honors? Thank you. Visiting Rotarians.
Visiting Rotarians, we have the best. We have the best in Captain Ron Cutler. They got on the Hawaii Rotary Club. Welcome, Ron.
Well, Captain Ron, in honor of your visit, I am presenting you with a Rotary Club of Sebastopol Sunrise wine glass. And on the back side, this is a rare one. Holiday Tour of Wines. Yeah.
I remember those days.
Hello, everybody.
Aloha.
I'm actually president of our little club of Pahoa. We have a total on the roster of 12 members. 2 of them haven't showed up in years. We're lucky if we get 6 members at a meeting.
Guests, do we have guests this morning?
Yes.
We do have a guest, our speaker this morning.
Yes, we do. I'd like to introduce our speaker, Chance Passaro. Chance, welcome.
Morning, Jess. Welcome. Another guest, Andrea. Now, this has got to be one of the most unusual pictures I have ever seen. What in the world is that all about? What are those things? Where were you and what were you doing?
That was at the Instagram headquarters.
It was what?
At the Instagram headquarters. My host sister works at Facebook, and as a Christmas present, she offered me a visit there for a whole day. So we visited all of Facebook and all of Instagram, and it was really amazing.
Wow. So is that,
They had like, at the entrance of Instagram, they have like free little things where you can take pictures.
is that actually on the wall behind you? Is that the Instagram emblem?
Yeah.
Or was that, I couldn't tell for sure if that was kind of a,
Yeah, it's the Instagram.
okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was the Instagram thing, but I didn't know if it was a watermark on the photo or actually on the wall.
No, it's on the wall.
Yeah. So you had a good time?
Yeah, I did. It was
Great,
awesome.
good. So, Bill's Beatles tie of the week. Nobody guessed it so far this week. Take a good look.
Taxman,
Nope,
write me a letter.
close. You had the right.
Take it to
idea.
Ryan.
Okay, something we haven't done in a while. Pin check.
Oh, the dreaded
Citizen Scott, our Sergeant at Arms, would you like to go around and do the honors? Who all does not have a pin on today? Just a buck. Just a buck. We're easy.
Hey, come on, I already got 5 out.
Well, we get 5 from Larry.
Scott, start over here first. Right there.
What?
Right there.
We have a new member without a pin?
New member. Next year, I'll buy yours for you.
So, January 17th, what happened this day in history? Right at the fall of World War II, Raoul Wallenberg was captured by the advancing Russian army as he was, as they were entering the Eastern Bloc, which became the Eastern Bloc. He was a Swedish diplomat who was down in Romania in Budapest and saved thousands of lives of Jewish folks from the ghetto there by, in essence, bringing them into the Swedish embassy and calling them Swedish citizens. And the Soviets captured him. His actions were really against the Nazis, but the Soviets captured him, took him into custody, and he was never heard from again. They assumed he died in captivity, but there was nothing ever firm about that. Anyway, if anyone that could qualify as a service above self, this was service above self to the point of giving his life. So we honor Raoul Wallenberg today. Birthdays in history. Benjamin Franklin was born today. Man, he did a little of everything. He was a leading author, printer, political theorist, politician, Freemason, postmaster, scientist, inventor, humorist, civic activist, statesman, and diplomat. One of our most famous and most well-known, also gracing our $5 bill. What we don't know, what a lot of people don't know about Ben Franklin, when he was over in France, he was over there at the same time that John Adams went over there, and Adams thought he was extremely lazy and unmotivated. He would sleep until 11 o'clock most days, and then he'd get up. He hardly did any work for the country, but he did a lot of philandering around there, running around with French ladies. So, a great man, but, you know, had a few interesting faults as well. Also on this day in 1964, Michelle Obama recently voted the most admired woman in the country. Rotarian birthdays, we don't actually have any during this upcoming week. Nor do we have any Rotarian partner birthdays. I'm sorry, I take that back.
It's February. That's my wife's birthday, though.
Okay, I guess we need to make a correction on the...
No, the birthday's right.
That's on my picture on there, yeah.
Oh, so it is her birthday coming?
It is, you're right, yeah.
Okay, well, stand up, please. Would you tell us about your plans? What are you going to do for her?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Man, it's the 17th. That's next week. You got to plan these things out.
She knows already. Our anniversary's coming up in the following month, and we're going to do something then.
Okay. Well, I don't know about your family, but on mine, that doesn't fly. Oh, well, it's going to be your anniversary instead, so we'll take care of it then. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's going to cost you $5 just for that error. Pam Davis. I wanted to find her today. She, you know, after that great presentation we had last week from Jim, talking about hiking the Pacific Crest Trail and all those great photos, she takes off and they go on a sort of a second honeymoon kind of trip in, I guess it was celebrating him being home again, and had a lot of pictures on Facebook of what they did in San Francisco and a couple other places, so we'll catch her next time.
Not all.
Who else? Nancy Wilson. Miss Nancy, tell us about this picture.
Can I put my glasses on the face? Oh, that's a domestic violence group.
Ah, yes. And
So we're the committee that meets, and right now they're working on not just the victim part of it, but they're working on what they can do for boys/men to maybe stop it in the making. So it's pretty interesting.
yeah, where was that meeting held?
That was at Corey's office right by Sushihana.
Oh, okay. How did you get there? How did you get there?
Drove a car? Oh, here we go. Oh, yes, I drove my car that has 4 doors that I can now put a car seat in the back.
Ah,
That I've been looking for and talking about for...
and where did that said car come from?
Stand up.
What?
Stand up.
I don't tell you.
He did.
I think it's probably $10 for each of you.
I think so, yeah. He should maybe get home.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you were the one
Yes,
that benefited from
it was great to have help.
Joe's paid up, actually.
I thought.
Would you like to pass that on to one of your best friends?
One of my, watch all the icons back here. How about Jim Gilliam?
Jim Gilliam. Sorry, he's paid up. Your good friend Brian Bauer.
Brian? Brian, my friend.
You still good friends?
Oh, absolutely. Better now.
Wow. Isn't that a stunning picture?
It is beautiful.
Who took that picture? Charlie, would you like to stand up, please? You're kind of a rabble-rouser, aren't you? I know. With what went behind that. I read an article in the, or not an article, a letter to the editor of the Santa Rosa Press Democrat. The monument dust-up does expose a mindset that feds have too much land and oversight in the West, yada, yada, yada. Clive and Bundy is a prime example of this. Sounded like a good letter to the editor. What do you think you want out of life?
I'll say again.
What do you think? Can't we have something like this instead of this?
The camera's pointed up on one of them, down on the other, so. But the one that I did take, I was on your land management land when I took it. And those are the ones that are, those public lands that are most at risk.
Currently undefiled.
Yeah. It's, the BLM used to be kind of they managed the dregs of land that nobody else wanted, but they now do national monuments like Bears Ears and Escalante Grand Staircase. And those, of course, are the two that may be reduced if Trump has his way. So anyway, thanks for mentioning.
I noticed, by the way, that the drilling that was allowed on every coastline, the only thing that was accepted out of that was the coastline off of Mar-a-Lago. A mere coincidence that Florida was exempted from that, I'm sure. Anyway, don't want to get too political here. You're paid up, but who would you like to pass that on to?
Ron Cutler.
Charlie? I said, that was a finable offense, being publicly exposed there. Who would you like to pass that on to, since you're paid up?
I would like to pass it on to Joe. Joe is paid up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm in need of a new truck, and I was thinking this.
I'll just add it to the price.
So I'm going to pass it to Joe. Joe, who are you going to pass it to?
Oh, how about, where's Michael McLaughlin?
Yeah, he's wide open, wide open.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hit him twice.
Just $10. Judy Rice, would you stand, please?
I don't think so. Why?
Can't you read the sign? What does it say?
No honking, it's illegal. Well, I'm having a senior moment because I don't get it.
No honking zone? Your car horn going off?
Oh!
Yes. How long did your car continue
All right,
to honk?
very, very brief story. About 9:30 one night, at 9:30, I live in a townhouse complex, and I had a neighbor pounding rapidly on my door telling me that my car alarm had been going off for 2 hours. So I went out, turned it off, stayed on. I figured, all right, I'll unlock all the doors and walk away. Still did it. So I called AAA, they came out, they disconnected the battery, and my only thing was I needed someone to come rescue me in the morning and reconnect it, because I admitted I haven't got a clue how to do it. So Bill came over, but Bill assumed that my car, which is 14 years old, was a lot newer than it is. So he raised the hood, but he thought it would stay up by itself. Came down, missed his whole hand, but did a really deep gash, which he probably still has the scars from. So yes, no honking, it's illegal. And the car dealership, whether it's good or bad, wound up just permanently disconnecting the alarm system.
Nobody's going to steal a 14-year-old.
I think for the disturbance to your neighborhood, that's a $20 offense.
Oh,
Okay. Happy anniversary. We have a Rotary anniversary for Elaine Campbell, 16 plus years. She's showing actually 2002 with our club, but of course she was with the Noon Club beforehand, so we will get her next week. We will revisit this. Announcements. This coming Friday, Michael Fell's book reading out at Occidental Center for the Arts. Be there or be square. If you haven't read the book, Circle of Elephants, I highly recommend it. And I would also recommend, again, the predecessor to it, Queen of Kansas. Both really well done, interesting. So go out to Occidental, have dinner, and then attend Michael's event. Next week, our speaker is going to be
Brian Bauer.
Brian Bauer, thank you. Okay, fine bill, $10. And just the change in speakers. Next week will be our own Brian Bauer. Thank you, talking about recycling plastics. The following week, Madeline O'Connell talking about domestic violence. And February 7th, Charles Gibbons talking about the Boy Scouts. Do we have any other announcements for the good of the order? Matt?
A couple of things. Can someone either email or talk to me after the meeting whether they have a flatbed trailer? I'm trying to conceptualize and put together a float for our Apple Blossom presence this year. And I have some ideas, but I do need a flatbed trailer. So if anyone has such a thing, I would greatly appreciate it. The other thing that I have to bring to your attention, because we're moving forward on it now, is the dinner auction that we agreed to as a board. And I floated the idea of a toga party last meeting, and we got some feedback, and we listened. And the result of it, the upshot of it, was the board directing me, directing us, directing the fundraising committee that's working on this particular project to do something in the nature of a ball. Black and white was the thought, black and white night, black and white ball. We talked around about that, kicked it around, and concluded that black and white ball is really, there's two things. One, it requires possibly some expenditure on nice clothes and so forth and so on. We wanted to avoid that. The other thing is that typically it's a winter event, and this will be a spring event. So by consensus of the club, we have decided to have an event, a dinner auction called The Rite of Spring, R-I-T-E, The Rite of Spring, Equinox Ball and Auction. I am going to pass around these rough flyers.
Just a quick FYI, the flyers and posters will not be adorned with scantily clad.
No scantily clad. So there's good news and bad news and good news and good news.
We may have.
Will we play Stravinsky's Rite of Spring while we're
Yes, why not?
I actually sent that to them already.
So the the good news is we all get together and have the opportunity to enjoy one another's company and just have a great time. Just have a wonderful dinner and dance, and at the same time we can raise some money because we know how to do this. And as I said before, Lori and Gail agreed to pull together auction items. I'm in the process of getting a band for us. There's also some interest. One of the good points about this notion of Rite of Spring is people who really want to dress up in togas can still come in togas as gladiators or whatnot, nymphs, So, Easter bunnies.
Or you could do Wiccan.
Sure. So, what else? So that's the notion. We hope, again, the reason I bring it up now is we need to move forward, and Lori's going to be sending out, Gail's going to be sending out inquiries to gather together our auction items. So I think it'll be great. We'll have a lot of fun. We got, as I say, the community center for free, and let's have some fun and raise some money. Thank you.
Give them the date.
Yeah, it's March 23rd.
Which is a Friday night.
It's a Friday night.
Friday night.
6.
Friday night, March 23rd, Rite of Spring.
Is it the 20th?
Any other announcements?
Yes.
Patrick.
18, thank you.
Just want to apologize that the bulletin didn't go out until late.
That's why I was late.
$50.
Yes, we did. The new one will be coming out, and just mentioning there is an opportunity to win money within those bulletins.
Whoa.
I just remembered the Interact Club at El Molino met yesterday, and even though there was short notice because of the holiday on Monday, we still had 50 show up. One of the projects they decided they wanted to do something outdoors. They're looking into the Laguna cleanups, which they do one a month. And I was thinking that when I know the date they're coming and a little bit of commitment, maybe we could go out and work with them so we can become part of their club. Because it's not the liaison and Bob's there with me and with pizza. And I think they'd like to see, they feel good if we were there supporting them.
If there are no other announcements, I would like to bring up Chance Massaro, who is going to do the introductory. Great.